Hey guys, a little bit of an update. So it's kind of been a week now that I've been in Rwanda. Been having great times, been visiting my girlfriend's friends, pastors, family. Been able to meet everyone. And you might think it sounds, well, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's quite loud in here right now because there is quite the downpour happening. I am so glad I had my breakfast when I did, that I had my coffee when I did, because I had breakfast and coffee like maybe an hour or so ago, and then it just started downpouring. Like it was crazy. I'll probably do, if I have time later this evening, I'll do a bit more of an update about everything that has been happening. But me and my mukundwa, we done some shopping too. I got myself a book to read. I don't really read books too often, besides the Bible, obviously. But I've heard of this book, "Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee," and thought it would be an interesting read. When me and my mukundwa, when we went to visit her pastors at their house, it was very interesting. It was a great time meeting them. It was a great time enjoying food. It's always funny though, because everyone just seems to be a lot more comfortable speaking Kinyarwanda. So my girlfriend, even if they can speak English, they'll have a little bit of conversation between themselves, and then they'll translate it to me after, which is, it is what it is. It's always funny. But yeah, we had a great time meeting her pastors, and it was something that me and her both weren't expecting, but they had welcomed me into their family as a son.
Okay.
We are receiving Isaiah in this family as a son, not as a family, because he loved our daughter Sandra, so he deserved to be a son. Pure, it is not alcohol, there's no alcohol. It is
Bongere ntabwo kari kagize. Again. Once again. Once again. Share, then you. Enjoy, Isaiah, enjoy. Then Sandra, also enjoy. Wow. Woo.
Which we both weren't expecting. Hey everyone, how's it going? Finally found time to update the rest of the trip. If I kind of look like I'm looking off, it's because I've written everything down just so I don't forget about what I actually want to talk about. But the next day we went to a Bible store to find out prices and what their stock looked like, since for the up and coming mission trip we plan on buying the Bibles we will be giving away in each country, just so that, one, we don't have to, the rest of the mission team doesn't have to travel with the Bibles over here, and also so that through the purchasing of the Bibles we're also helping local economy too, in both Rwanda and Uganda. And also, if you'd like to donate to help purchase any Bibles, although the mission trip is coming up, any donations that we receive during our time on the mission trip and leading up to the mission trip will be used still to help fund the mission trip and also to help fund Bibles. And if you're interested in helping fund this, I'll have the donation info right here, somewhere on screen at least. And I'll also have it in the description below with a link to the SIOS, which stands for Summit International Outreach Society. I'll be having a link to their website so that you can find out a bit more about the organization, a bit more about the mission trip, and a bit more about how you can help support. Also, if you want a Bible and you're here in Kigali, go check out this store. They've got a good selection of Bibles and very friendly people. After we took a look at the Bibles, we made our way back our way back to her house, where we ended up listening to Christmas music as we were setting up a Christmas tree with her youngest sister. And yeah, that was a great time. We had a lot of difficulties getting the star on top of the tree because the way that the artificial top little branch thing that the star sits on top of it was just so puffy, it just kept wanting to push the star off. So we ended up having to trim that a little bit just for the star to actually not fall off the tree. And yeah, it was a great time setting up the Christmas tree. We listened to a lot of different Christmas songs. And then on Saturday, we spent the day with one of my Mukundo's friends, later having dinner together with that friend and one of her other friends who I was not expecting to be talking as much about hockey as I did during that conversation. Me and him, we just talked about sports, talked about hockey a lot, and yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And also some of the dishes that they had very interesting names, but they have what was called disco chips. I don't know how they're made disco, but obviously they're fries of some sort. And then they also had this other thing called the Chili Willy cheese cigar roll. I have no idea what that could be. Yeah, I don't know, because cigars, whenever I hear a cigar, I just think of something that you smoke, not something that you eat. So I don't know. But very interesting names, to say the least. And then we had a great day on Sunday. I ended up attending both services at my girlfriend's church. It kind of blew me away when I was there, because in the second service, once a year they'll have it where the children of the church actually end up leading the service. And it was something where I was just blown away by the passion and how on fire these kids were for the Lord. And this one girl who was sharing the main message, she was so passionate about it, and while she was preaching, there were tears coming down her face. And then they also had another little kid interpreting the whole thing so she could understand what was being said, and it was really good and very amazing. And
so today I wanted to give you the word of God. Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
And it's always amazing just seeing how passionate kids can be for Christ, and yeah, it was an amazing time seeing how passionate they were. And also one thing I gotta say, in North America, I can't say I've ever experienced a church service quite like a Rwandan, or even on my last mission trip, a Ugandan church service, because the best way I can put it is it's a party for the Lord. It's a praise party is what I would call it, because you think of like how people have parties where it's loud, people are dancing, people are shouting, just like that, but everything that's being said is being directed to God. And they are dancing better than I could ever dance, and they're just so passionate about it, which is something that I find amazing. And it's something that you don't really see in most North American churches, because most North American churches, during church service, the people just doing that. That's what most people do during church service. But these people, they're dancing, and if I can, I'll pull up a video from one of the live streams that they've done just to help demonstrate it. But it's truly different, and it's amazing to see. And then after church that day, we ended up going to one of her aunts and uncles' houses, where I was able to have a very good conversation with her uncle, and it's always funny because it's so warm here compared to Canada. It is perfect weather, like perfect. And it's funny because me and my girlfriend's uncle, we were having a conversation outside. When we came back in, her aunt was telling my girlfriend to get me some milk tea so I could warm up, and I'm like, it feels like summer outside. I don't need to warm up. It's still so warm, but then to them it's cold because they're used to a lot warmer, which it's always one of those things where I'm like, I'm excited to see what my Mukundwa thinks about the cold in Canada, because that's even where I'm from, British Columbia, the lower mainland area, that's not even cold. Like Edmonton, more places up north, that's cold. Where I live, it's a lot colder than here, but it's not the coldest it gets in Canada. And then on Monday, we spent some time shopping. We went and got her ring size, and then later we went to this one place called Echo Park. I have it written down. I'm probably gonna still mispronounce it. Dungu. I can't pronounce it. Naya Dungu. I'll just say Eco Park. And when we were there, we walked through the park, and they have two trails. One path that leads for if you're just walking along, and then another trail if you rent one of the bikes there. They have a specific path for the bikes to go on. However, most people on bikes, they were also on the walking path too. So at times we were like, should we just go to the bike path and not be in the way of these bikes? But it was good. And yeah, it was very nice seeing all the different nature, seeing the different trees, and it was also, although you didn't really see too much wildlife, you more so heard frogs, crickets, that stuff in the background, but we still did see a lot of small birds, and also I noticed a couple lizards right before they ducked off into the bush. After we were done walking around, we ended our night by going to the restaurant at Echo Park, and it was pretty good. And yeah, can't complain. Then on Tuesday we spent the day together, and we ended up that evening we watched a Christmas movie together. We watched Christmas with the Cranks, which with only her youngest sister, because that was the only sister that was home at the time. And they both seemed to really enjoy it. They were laughing at quite a few parts of it, which is always good. And yeah, and then on Christmas Eve, we spent the day together. We went and we picked up the picture frame I had made after we had gotten pictures installed into it. So we picked that up, and then we also went and got the biggest bag we could for a gift bag to put the frame in. It was still sticking out of the top, but we were able to make it work. We knew that we wouldn't have time on Christmas itself to do any of the gift giving or anything like that. So we decided to, on Christmas Eve, once her sisters had all gotten home, that we would give the gifts then. Her sisters really seemed to enjoy the picture frame I had made for them, and then also I gave them all each a cross necklace, similar to mine, but all unique in their own ways. One was walnut, one was poplar, one was zebra wood, one was bamboo, and then I ended up getting a Rwandan shirt. Very comfortable, very stylish. We had a call with my best friend where we were able to keep mine and my best friend's Christmas tradition alive still, because typically every Christmas Eve we spend it together, hanging out till very late at night, However, with me being in Rwanda this year and him still being in Canada, we were still fortunately able to keep the tradition alive, which was very nice. And it was nice that they were able to talk, and he was able to meet my girlfriend was able to meet him, and yeah, it was a good night. On Christmas, I attended the Christmas service at her church, which was very nice. And then later after the service, we traveled to her grandma's house, where we had dinner with the rest of her family, at least on her mom's side of the family. Although a few of her uncles were not able to attend, but it was still nice meeting everyone that I could. And then I also gave them all cross necklaces also as a little gift, because if I'm invited somewhere, I feel like I have to bring a gift of some sorts. And it was great meeting them, and they have a little saying. It's very much kind of the saying we have in North America. There's no pictures of it, it didn't happen. So we took a lot of pictures before we all kind of made our way home, but it was very nice. And then after we got back to her house, we ended up having a video call with my family, and luckily everyone was able to join it. And yeah, we were able to have some good conversations before they all had to get about their day, and we had to end up going to sleep. And then yesterday, since yesterday when I'm recording this, it's the day after Christmas, I got the opportunity to experience my first traditional Rwandan wedding. And it was great. It was unlike any wedding I've been to in Canada, because normally in Canada, the weddings will happen in the later part of the day, going to evening. With the traditional wedding, it's an all-day thing, because in the morning you have the traditional introduction wedding, followed by the church wedding, followed by the reception. It apparently started at 9. We didn't get there until I think closer to 10, but then we ended up being there till about 9 at night. And then we enjoyed some dinner at the place I'm staying, the villa, and it was very good. Very good day yesterday. And it makes me excited to have my own traditional Rwandan wedding one day, God willing. And yeah. And then this morning, during breakfast, I had the opportunity to connect with someone from South Africa who is staying in the same villa as me. And I got to hear a bit about South Africa and what it's like there. And I've been told that I should visit one day. So who knows when that day will be, but it's another country that I want to visit now. So yeah, and the rest of the plans that me and my Mukundwa have for today include, we're going to go purchase the Bibles for the mission trip today. So we've received the money for the Bibles in Rwanda, at least, from the mission team back home and the organization SIOS. So that, and we have also received the numbers of each book that we'll be getting. So we will be trying to, and hoping that they have all of the stock of each of those books available to us. And then we'll be getting those, bringing them back to her house so that we can keep them there until it's time for the mission trip. And then after that, we plan on going to see a movie later. I think the plan is to see the new Avatar movie. And yeah, then we also plan on having another video call with my best friend and chatting with him more. And that's all the updates for now. And I meant to update a lot earlier, but with the past few days with Christmas and then the wedding, I just haven't had time to record this video here. So I've been a bit busy, but at least it's recorded now. I just have to edit it and then upload it. But thank you for tuning in again. There are going to be more videos to come, so stay tuned. Have a great rest of your day. God bless.